Hello, my name is Everett Fred. I am a licensed Montana real estate advisor, and today I'm going to walk you through the home buying process from start to finish. So, you've decided you want to buy a home. What next? What are the next steps for you? First, you must talk with a lender. If you have a bank relationship, I highly recommend that you talk to your bank and see if they have any lenders for real estate and discuss with them to figure out what you are able to afford and how much house you can actually buy. It is very important to speak with a lender as they're going to be able to help you figure out what exactly you can afford, and this will help start your process out correctly as you're going to be looking for things in your price range and something that will be manageable for you. Step number 2 is to find a realtor to help you out through this process. You're going to want to find a realtor that you connect with, that you click with, and you feel is going to get the job done. If you are not able to find a lender in step 1, your realtor will be able to connect you with anyone you need throughout this process, especially a lender, as they develop connections throughout their real estate career to help their clients as best as possible. Your next step for this process is going to take what the lender told you and take it to the realtor, and from there, you're going to narrow down your search. This means you're going to narrow down the price range that you're going to look for, how many bedrooms and bathrooms you're going to need, what the size of the lot you're looking for, etc. Next, you're going to decide and decipher which properties you like the best, and you're going to go tour them. You're also going to go to some open houses, anything you can do to get into the property, because pictures may be great, but it's nothing like getting into the property itself. Once you found a property you like through touring and going to a bunch of open houses, you're going to submit an offer. Here's where your realtor helps out again. They're going to help you write the offer and make sure that it's a correctly priced property through running a CMA, which is a comparative market analysis. They're also going to make sure that there are all the terms that you need as a buyer to get this property within your possession. So they're going to write it to best serve your needs and your purposes. One thing I want to remind you is that steps 3 through 5 can be an extremely long process. It can take months to figure out what exactly you're looking for, how much space you need, what price is right for you. So do not be discouraged if it takes a long time to figure out what exactly you're looking for and find the property that you love, because it can take months. All right, so you wrote an offer and it got accepted. What now? Well, now you're in the due diligence period. During the due diligence period is where you are going to work through all the contingencies that you and your realtor wrote in your offer to ensure that this property is the right one for you. The most common contingencies in an offer that you're going to see are, first, the earnest money deposit. This ensures to the seller that you are serious as a buyer about their property, and it helps the seller feel a little bit more comfortable about going through the due diligence process with you. This is typically done within the first 3 to 5 days after the offer is accepted. Next is going to be the title commitment. Your realtor is going to receive the title commitment from the title company used in this transaction, and they're going to make sure that the seller owns the property and that they're able to sell the property to you. It's also going to figure out if there's any restrictions on the property and anything else that may be of concern before you get to closing. We don't want any surprises at closing. Next is the home inspection. This typically takes place within about 3 weeks of the offer being accepted, depending on inspector availability. An inspection is going to help you figure out what is wrong with the property that you don't really get from a first glance when you went through the tour or the open house. So the inspector is going to look at, the electric, the plumbing, make sure that everything's up to code and that there's no factors that are going to be of concern for you when you get to closing and it becomes your house. After you get the inspection report back from the inspector, you have the opportunity to provide the seller a list of remedies that you'd like done before you're comfortable moving forward with the transaction. These remedies can include repairs, maintenance, any seller credits you'd like to ask for after seeing the inspection report, mold mitigation, etc. After you provide the seller with your requested remedies, they have the chance to look at it and negotiate with you. So this is a period where there can be some back and forth, but ultimately, if you guys can reach an agreement, the transaction can move forward. However, if you don't reach an agreement, the transaction is terminated. Another common contingency is the appraisal. This is generally required if you're using bank financing. However, if you're using cash, it's not necessarily required. However, it can be good for you as a buyer for peace of mind later on down the road that you know how much your house is worth. and that you didn't overpay. Now, once you've worked through all the contingencies from your offer, you can now move forward with closing. Now it's time to close. Your realtor is going to set up an appointment with the title company for this transaction, at which point you and your realtor are going to meet at the title company to sign all the appropriate documents to get the house transferred from the seller to you. The title company will also handle the disbursement of the funds. They make sure that when you give them the check for this house you're going to buy, that everything is paid off on the seller's end before they give any of the remaining funds to the seller. If they took the money and never ended up paying off their mortgage, then the bank might come and take your house. So the title company managing all the dispersion of the funds makes sure that this doesn't happen. Once all the documents are signed, it takes a couple hours to record, and after it's recorded, congratulations, you're now the brand new owner of a new piece of real estate. Keep in mind that every transaction is different. Some properties might have more contingencies involved, some less, but this should give you an overall good idea of what the transactional process looks like from the buy side of a real estate transaction. Keep an eye out for my next video where I'm going to talk about some programs and options that are available for first-time homebuyers to make getting into their first property a little bit more attainable. Thank you very much for watching my video here today. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.